Okay, if I can have everyone's attention, we'll go ahead and get started with our post-qualifying press conference for Sunday's Aaron's 499. We are joined by A.J. Allmendinger, driver of the number 47 Busch Beans Chevrolet, who will start third in Sunday's race. A.J., talk a little bit about your run out there and your thoughts on the new qualifying format.
Yeah, it was interesting out there for sure. More than anything, it was just a great plan by everybody at RCR, the Alliance, and just getting us all the RCR and all the RCR Alliance cars working together. We kind of worked on that a little bit yesterday and felt like all the cars had good speed. ECR builds such great motors, so much horsepower here. So it's just a good plan, and I got to get a little bit lucky there. Ryan was kind of the guinea pig the whole time for us, but kind of timed it right. And in that last session, it was just basically who was going to wait the longest to go out there. And it's good for us to get the Busch Beans Chevy up front. Starting position isn't that important here, but to get all the RCR Alliance cars and RCR cars up front together, it's a good thing. So worked out.
Also joining us is Paul Menard, driver of the number 27 Richmond Menard Chevrolet, who will start second in Sunday's race. Talk a little bit about your thoughts on your qualifying run out there and the new format as well.
Yeah, it was, this whole qualifying format, I think there's good tracks for it and bad tracks for it, and this is definitely a great track for it. I thought it had a lot of excitement. We had a plan that we talked about it last night and talked about it again this morning, all the RCR cars and the affiliates, and we tried to stick to the plan as best we could. It kind of got messed up a little bit the first outing, but for the most part, we all kind of stuck to our plan, and Ryan, we put the burden on him to kind of decide when to go and where to go, and the rest of us just kind of held in line. So ECR top 6 and RCR cars all up there, so pretty exciting.
Also joining us, Austin Dillon, driver of the number 3 Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, who will start 5th, but is our top qualifying rookie today. Your thoughts on qualifying and the significance at Talladega for the 3?
Yeah, I'm just very proud of RCR and affiliates. We've been working hard to work together, and that shows. That it makes me really happy for RCR and ECR and everybody, just because we were able to stick together longer than the other teams, and that was very cool. And like Paul said, we put it on Ryan, and Ryan deserves a lot of that credit for telling you when to go and when not to. And it was hard the first session to just kind of stay with the plan because there was so much going on. And then second session, he did a great job of taking charge right there and getting in that second pack. And from then on, it was really good. But I'm happy to have a good starting position for the Bass Pro Shop Chevy, and I think we've all got good cars going into Sunday's race.
Okay, we'll take questions for all 3. We'll start right here in the middle at the back and then come up to Jenna.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. You guys talked about Ryan Newman being the guinea pig. Can you take me through how he was elected to be the guinea pig and what your team meeting was like pre-race or pre-qualifying?
I think Richard just kind of elected him, made a call there. It worked out. Ryan's he's won on the plate tracks. He's got the most experience out of all of us, so it made sense. And we kind of knew that being the first guy, he's not going to win the pole, and being I kind of volunteered to be the last guy because I feel like I've got probably the fastest car to try to push guys. I pretty much figured that I wasn't going to be on the pole either, so we kind of left it up to the guys in the middle, and Brian Scott had to race his way in, and that was our number one priority, is kind of put him in the middle to try to help him get in the race, and then from there just kind of stick to our plan.
Okay, we'll come up front. Jenna.
Jennifer, AP. I understand when teammates work together, but you guys widen the circle to bring in all the affiliates. How did that decision come about? And, I guess for AJ, what do you say in those meetings? Do you just listen to what they tell you?
Yeah. They said you're going to work with all the RCR cars. I said, perfect. That makes sense. No, I mean, I think it just shows that more cars around here, you get more cars in line, it's going to be faster. And, the great thing about RCR and the ECR package is we're all even. So it's not like, we know their cars are way faster than ours. So it just made sense to get everybody lined up and get us all in a pack. And, as these guys said, Ryan being the most experienced, it was up to him when to go and when not to go. And, I think especially the last 2 runs there, the last 2 groups, he did a great job just because, he timed it out to get behind that first big pack in that second group, and then it was just a waiting game, that third one, and when he decided to go, it was the right time. So, for us, we feel very fortunate, and Richard's been so helping in this alliance. He's opened the doors to his shop and given us a great opportunity to have good race cars every weekend to go out there and keep trying to build this one-car team and make us a better team as a whole. And, I feel like if we can be better, hopefully we can bring something back to the RCR team, and it's been working out. So when they said we're working together, I had no questions about it.
How did that come about that you guys decided
Well,
to open it up
for RCR, I feel like to compete with Hendrick, Roush, and all those guys, and to have an edge, we got to use all of our affiliates. And just like AJ said, we have to use them on every track, and we're working toward that and trying to get better to broaden what we have as a team. So moving forward, that's what we have to do, and this obviously paid off for us today.
Okay, we'll take our next question in the back. Chris.
Chris Knight, NASCAR Wire Service Behind the Cameras. This is for AJ. Even though it doesn't matter here, how about your technical alliance with RCR? How has it impacted your race team, not only here this weekend, but all season long?
I think it's just been amazing for our whole 47 race team, just because, with the new rules package, the ride height rules, everything going into this season, there's so many variables for us to try to figure out, and to have that alliance, not only to have fast race cars and fast motors in general, but to have all the engineering help and the notes and everything that RCR brings and really opens their doors for us to have, is just a huge help to our race team. Without it, I feel like we could easily be lost in just trying to figure out where we're at. And I think slowly we're getting there where our results are showing that. Last week having a 6th, and even though qualifying really doesn't matter here, to get our sponsors, Bush's Beans, and all of our sponsors that we have on this race car, just to get the exposure and show that we can slowly start working to race with the bigger race teams is a big deal for us. So, at this point in the season, I couldn't be any happier with where we're at and with the help that RCR has given us, and, to where I think our race team is slowly getting to.
Next question, Ed.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. AJ, is one of the relatively seasoned drivers up here in the top 4 or 5, and starting third.
Does that mean I'm old? God, has it been that long already?
Did I say old?
Seasoned.
I said seasoned.
I'm like a fine wine, I get better with age.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. As fine wine starting third.
It's old's not bad when you're the rich kid is when it's bad,
Hey, I'd rather take being the rich kid. Screw that. Anyway, back to the question. All right, go ahead.
Being old and rich.
Start.
Okay, let's go, Ed. Come on.
All right.
Starting third up there with your experience, do you feel like that you've got as good a shot as any to lead the first lap or several laps of this race tomorrow?
I think for me, it's just I haven't had the best results here, so it's just if we can fall in line and as these guys said, having 6 or 7 Alliance cars and RCR cars starting up front, I'd just be happy to fall in line and run there for a while. The easiest way to try to miss a wreck is be up front. So, it's great if we can go out there and lead, fantastic. But if not, if we can just kind of fall in line and just start pacing the race and do that, I'm happy with that.
Final question, Stan up front. Right here.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com, and really to all three of you. How much of the camaraderie do you carry over into the race tomorrow, and at what point do you say, oh, it doesn't matter who's around me, I want to win? It's not about teammates any longer.
Well, it's always about teammates. You just don't want to intentionally screw one of them up. Our plan going into today was to work together, and if it worked out where you put in a position where you couldn't, like Martin and I were in the first session, we had some slower cars jumping in front of us, and we had to abort and do our own thing, and I made it, Martin didn't. Then our plan worked for the second session and the third session, and the race is going to be the same thing. You're going to work with your guys when you can, and there's going to be times we get separated, and you just have to go do your own thing. Yeah,
I think you work with them as long as you can. I think we'll have another meeting like we did before qualifying probably and figure out how we can keep our sponsors and cars up front as long as we can. And man, these races are so crazy, things happen, and you just got to do whatever, man. It's one of the juniors, probably one of the best here, and he told me that you have no friends when you get out there, but I feel like our guys are working well together, so we just need to work well, and then at the end, we just got to go and do what you can. It gets crazy.